Hello, welcome back to Latte Hour. Hopefully everyone has a nice drink, either warm or cold. It could be a latte or whatever makes you feel comfortable and warm and fuzzy. Or if you're like me, it's been really hot lately, so I've got a little nice cool down drink. I know last time we spoke about reversing age, and I ran across a trend of biohacking, so I'm interested to do some more research into that. I've also seen some cryogen offices popping up around town, so I'm definitely interested in going more into depth learning about that. So hopefully you guys are able to, since last time, look up some more interesting things about it. But that'd be really cool if we were to figure out the fountain of youth or find the fountain of youth. Anyways, lately I have really liked a lot of mangoes, mainly because when I eat them I feel like I'm more energetic. I also feel like it cleans out the lymphatic system, at least for me, pretty well. I don't know if that's backed by any type of research or anything. I haven't looked into it. But yeah, mangoes are definitely my fruit of the season right now. For the summer, I will definitely be drinking a lot of smoothies with mangoes. Definitely. So hopefully everyone is staying cool. If you're under the heat dome that we've been experiencing, hopefully you're able to get to a pool and enjoy yourself, because it has been really scorching out there and the sun has been extra bright. So yes, make sure you take care of yourself and keeping cool. Also, work seems to be getting a bit busy. It always picks up in the fall and in the summer months. Kind of on that cycle again. So for everyone who's busy this week, take a moment to breathe in and breathe out, and like I said, really take care of yourself here. I love to foster an environment of comfort, right? So hopefully you have your slippers. If you're like me, if your house is real cold, then you might have a heater on your feet. Not right now because it's so hot outside, but some days I have to turn on the heater, have my blanket. I actually have this big pullover called a comfy that kind of just now I don't even wear it because it gets so hot. Kind of just use it as a blanket. So yeah, hopefully you're taking those moments after work to definitely decompress and don't work too long, right? Because if they're wanting all this work in an unreasonable amount of time, then we have to stop complying with that unreasonable amount of time, because it seems like people at the top are setting very lofty goals that we have to somehow meet, and it's almost impossible to meet answering emails all day and being distracted from whatever your goal is by an email. So constant distractions, people walking in and talking to you. And so it's like we're not factoring all these things in. And a lot of things that we're rushing don't probably really need to be rushed, especially if you think about back in the day. These things were just, they happened when they happened. I mean, there was a reasonable timeline, but it wasn't so short as they are now. So, we have to kind of set that goal again by showing them, hey, this I got to get done in this time. And so I think that's really important. I think we at the workforce, if we're gonna, either you tell them, which usually ends up in them just pointing you out, or show people it. What is that saying? I can show you better than I can tell you. And that's always the better way to do it. At least in my experience. And so speaking of calm and comfort, aside from mangoes, I've also kind of moved from my coffee habit to a smoothie habit lately, just because it's been so hot. So it's been really refreshing to have those smoothies. And so that's been really nice. Summer is also a season for vacation and family and friends. So I'm definitely looking at planning a trip to either a theme park or a national park. Hopefully we can do a 1 week trip where we can go out, have fun for a couple of days, but also make sure that we're reserving days to rest. Some rest days at the beginning and some rest days at the end to get ready to go back to our daily life. And so that's kind of how I like to fashion my vacations. I know a lot of folks, at least in my family, they like to plan a vacation, and there's something to do every moment of every day, starting pretty early in the morning, and that's nice. But for me, a vacation is not vacation if I'm not getting any rest. So again, all about the comfort life here. So yeah, that's how I'll be planning my vacation and how I have planned them in the past as well. Also, this week I've continued my journey. I don't know if a lot of you know, but I've continued my journey reading the Bible English Standard Version, and the journey is to read it from front to back. And of course, I was raised a certain religion, but this journey here is more of an information hunt journey and not so much a religious journey. Of course, I will secondarily look at it with a religious eye, but my primary, goal is to read it as a history book, and to gather all of that history that is there, because I feel like, and as they say from a religious standpoint, there is a lot to gain from that book on how to live today. And as history does repeat itself, I think that informing myself of this history is very important, because one thing that doesn't really change is human nature, and that's from that historical perspective rather than from the religious perspective. So on that journey, definitely enjoying that journey, reading it for myself versus getting an interpretation from others, which is great. If I have a question, I always will go to YouTube University and get that interpretation. But it's been real interesting going through that journey. So I hope that you all will go on this journey, go on your own journey actually as well. And so also lately driving around, I've seen a lot of new businesses popping up. Oh, and a lot of coffee shops are popping up. So it's very easy now to get a latte around here. I just feel like it's the year of small businesses. And so that's wonderful. I love to see it. And speaking of small businesses, hopefully you all are writing your representatives about the Corporate Transparency Act of 2024 that requires you to report the ownership information. So let them know that this is an undue burden on small businesses. And, basically, if they need to investigate ownership, then they should do real detective work versus putting an undue burden on small business owners. With all these new small businesses popping up, it's a great opportunity to build new habits, especially if it's a small business with very good customer service, because small businesses sometimes don't have the best customer service when you compare them to the bigger stores that have all the resources and all the things that they need. Maybe we just need to go back to a simpler time, not saying lower your standards, but maybe we don't need every type of department in a store. It's a great time to support small businesses and change habits, and really make a change in the system. For me, if there's something that I don't like to see, or if a business supports something that I don't like and they're a really big corporation and they're able to put a lot of resources behind things that I don't believe in, then I just don't shop there. And so with all the new businesses popping up, it's a really great time to sort of put your money where your mouth is, basically. So you really can affect change. One example of people affecting change that I saw kind of in the last decade was manufacturers were putting a lot of high fructose corn syrup in foods, and then once the consumer was educated and found out about it, and a lot of us kind of just knew about it by personal experience. Like for me, the first time eating high fructose corn syrup, I instantly had pimples all over my face. And so consumers just knew that it wasn't right, or they were educated, and then they just decided, okay, well, we're gonna look at our foods and we're not gonna buy foods with high fructose corn syrup. And so eventually the market heard that, and now you have a lot of options again that don't have high fructose corn syrup in it. So we just have to take that model and do it with everything else, right? Everything you see that you don't like, just don't put your money behind it. So this is a really great opportunity now, because again, all these small businesses are popping up. Not as of late, but maybe a couple of weeks ago, there were just a lot of storms sweeping across the country, which was good and bad. The plants are growing out of control, and I believe that the future is plants. But also the storms were pretty destructive, and so that was the negative side of things. But again, on the positive side, plants and everything are growing. So if you're not growing anything right now or not gardening right now, you are missing out, because the rainwater has just been pretty amazing for the plants right now. And I also kind of put that into my comfort lifestyle, liking to garden and cultivate the plants that give us life, right? Our vitality comes from plants. And so if you're not growing anything right now, definitely consider that. But anyways, guys, not a lot to discuss on today's Latte Hour. Just hopefully you all are taking care of yourself, getting into your comfort zones every day, and making sure that you are okay and that you are good. So all right, make sure you pamper yourself, and until next time, bye now.